Hello, everyone. This is Nail Shabazz for InvoNews podcast, episode number 5. And today, my guest is Mayur Jadhav. I pronounced that correctly.
Correct, right.
Almost. Did I? Okay. Could you please say your name? I just want to make sure you're just not
Mayur
gonna.
Jadhav.
Yeah. So okay. And the origin is Indian.
Yes.
What does it mean?
You mean Mayur?
Yeah, Mayur.
Yeah, it's another name of peacock.
Peacock.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so Mayur is a social media enthusiast, LinkedIn growth expert, and data analyst, and much more, which I'm going to find out. So first thing first, tell me, how did you get into social media? Why?
Yeah, first of all, thank you so much having me here. Of course, everyone is on social media right now because of pandemic, or maybe there are a lot of people already on social media using it before pandemic, but the social media users already increased during this pandemic. And then people already started figuring out how they can leverage social media to build their own business, right? Initially, people only using social media for fun, but right now, most of them already moved from having only entertainment and fun to building business. And that's the same journey with me. I haven't figured out in the beginning that, okay, I want to be a social media strategist, or I want to be a LinkedIn specialist, but that was not the case, right? Just like everyone else, I also figured out on the way.
Okay, so like when you were scrolling through your phone, you must have, like, the way people use it, it's Instagram, it's Facebook, it's Twitter. So how did you figure out like you could make money or create a business out of it? I mean, it's addictive. There's a lot of apps on a smartphone. So how did you do it? Like,
Yeah. So as I said, I didn't plan anything. When you use something extensively, then you get to know all the in and outs about this particular tool, or about this particular app. And when you are actually into it, and then actually using that tool or using that social media platform very intensively, then you get to know, okay, now I'm doing this, but a lot of other people, those who are ahead of me, they are doing that. Let's try out that one, and then let's figure it out if that works for me as well. And
so
that's how.
wasn't it like that when you're watching a video on YouTube and suddenly an ad popped up, how to make money on social media, and you clicked and then it went down the rabbit hole and then it led you to.
No, I
No.
don't think so that has happened, because I don't believe on those ads, especially.
Me
And
too.
in the beginning time, in the like maybe initial time, when someone says, okay, you can make money online, I said, this is bullshit. I mean, this is
Yeah.
not true at all. But now I realize that what they actually mean, because when you hear that, okay, you can make money online, and people are more no talk about very executive version of it, say you can make huge money, or you can make like 20 lakh or 100,000 crore, or whatever it is, like, right? They just
Mhm.
make it like very big number. That's why people started doubting on those kind of statements. And same happened with me as well. Of course, they don't talk about very detailed version of how it should be or how you can earn. They just talk about you can earn huge money, but
Mhm.
there is no afterwards how, right? So that's
Yeah.
why, no, I also doubted on those kind of statements. But right now I can understand, and whenever I say something about social media, I always say what, how, and when, right? I don't only say, okay, you can make money. I say, okay, you can make money with this ways,
Mhm.
and for this you need to do that, rightly.
Okay. Sounds like a good strategy, by the way. That's like a realistic approach. Um, if you have to compare organic reach, searching on ranking on Google search engine or Bing or YouTube versus generating leads from social media, how do you compare both?
I don't have a lot of experience with YouTube, but I can talk about LinkedIn, or I can talk about Twitter as well, because recently I have started on Twitter. Of course, if I compare with rest of the platforms, LinkedIn gives you like most of the organic reach for free. You don't have to pay anything. I haven't paid anything since I started on LinkedIn. I have been almost like already touched 6 million views on LinkedIn. And I don't spend anything on ads. Same goes with Twitter as well, because I can select after LinkedIn. Twitter also gives you like a lot of or huge organic views or organic impressions. So yeah, these are the two platforms I have been experienced with, and I can strongly, at least I can strongly say about LinkedIn. And as per my initial experience, Twitter is also good.
What is your exact strategy? Like, if you break it down in very simplistic steps or format, how did you reach? If someone asks you, I want to reach 10 million views on LinkedIn, what would you say that this is how you're supposed to do?
Yeah. So first of all, you have to break down that 10 million into 10 different sections, or like at least 5 different sections. So you can feel yourself, okay, now this is comfortable with I'm comfortable with that particular goal and I can achieve that. If you say you are a newbie and your aspiration is that having 10 million or maybe 20 million views, then that might not help you. But if you say, okay, now for this month, I have a goal to reach out like at least 1 million impressions, then that's kind of thing that looks like a doable, right? And for that, you need to make action plan. Now think about, you get like maybe 10,000 views per post, then within a month you have to at least post 10 times a month to get the 1 million views, right? Or at least 100k views. Or if you want to have a 1 million views, then you have to make it more, you have to increase the frequency of content publishing, right? So accordingly, you have to do the math and make a strategy. Okay, I need to post once a week or maybe twice a week or thrice a week to achieve that number. At the end of the month, if you don't get it, that number, that's still fine, but at least you attempted with full strategy, with proper strategy. Then it makes sense to achieve your next goal for next month. And that's how at the end of the year or maybe like 2 year, you'll be able to achieve your goal, whatever you set in the beginning.
Yeah, at least that way you have a direction. When you say a newbie trying for, say, 10,000 views a week or a month, isn't that possible only with a certain number of followers? So someone newbie is starting a LinkedIn account, so probably he has 20 connections. So how is this person going to achieve that big of a number? Or let's just break it down, not a million, so how about 100,000 views? So without
Absolutely.
followers, how someone can achieve that?
That's the beauty of LinkedIn, right? Even if you have like a 500 connections or 200 connections, of course there is a chance or there is opportunity you can grow your connections or followers, but you just have to create content consistently. Even if you have like a 500 connections and you start creating content for like maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks, after 2 to 3 weeks, you'll be able to see the growth of your content impression. And that content impression might go from like 1,000 to 5,000 or maybe 10,000. It depends on what activity you do on LinkedIn. Only content creation is not enough. You should engage with other people's content, make a friend, so whenever they see your content on their newsfeed, they definitely help you out. Otherwise, what is the point of like writing content and you don't get engagement? You should also do the same for them, right? If you're engaging with them, if you're helping them, they will definitely help you back. And if you get the engagement, you get the views or you get the impressions. So more engagement, more impressions. And more engagement, how you get it? You spend a lot of time on that particular platform.
Treat LinkedIn like a community, a true community.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me actually fine tune the question. So first I asked about increasing the number of impressions. What if I want to increase the number of connects or followers? So, or subscribers, if we talk about YouTube, how can one do that?
Yeah. So, I mean, increasing your network in broader sense, there are a lot of predefined steps. If you talk about, let's say, LinkedIn, then you just have to find relevant people to connect with. And then you go manually, hit on that connect button, and you get connected,
No
right?
bots.
So no bots, of course, no bots. But problem here is LinkedIn initial days, people used to send maybe 100 or 200 connection requests or whatever number is, right? and that number is like once a day you can send 50 or 100 connection requests. Maybe within 2 days you'll be able to send like 200 connection requests. But right now LinkedIn is very strict with that, and they have restricted the numbers. So I think they haven't mentioned anywhere that this is the limit, but as per the experience, you'll be able to send only 100 connection requests per week. So now calculate how much followers or how much connections you want and how much time it will take. But that's the outbound connections, right? You are doing manual things, but if you're creating good content, you're getting a lot of engagement, and you're generating traffic towards your profile, then you might get inbound connection requests or followers as well. In that sense, you can get a lot of followers, so you can get a lot of connections. So that's the only way. Either you send, that is the outbound connection request, and second one is people come to your profile, they see what you do, they read your content, and they start following you. So that's the another way. And these are the two only options where you can increase your followers or connections.
Okay. Tell me a bit about your LinkedIn growth course, and tell me something like a golden nugget of sorts that you haven't mentioned on social media posts yet. So I want people to actually understand that you're offering quality or value through your course.
Yeah, so this is, I'm running 2 weeks course. That's live. It's not a video course, because video course, what happens with that, people buy that video course, they watch like 1 hour or 2 hour, and they just left. They don't watch entire course, right? And then they buy new course from new creator, and they also do the same with that course as
Yeah,
well.
it becomes
So
addictive just to purchase new courses.
exactly, and they don't finish at all, right? Even though most of them don't reach out to 50%. So that's why I started with like live courses. It's kind of it's called as a cohort courses. So every week you have to attend the classes. If you don't attend class, that's fine, you lose your money, right? And of course, if you don't appear on one class and then you directly appear on second class, you might not get to know, okay, what has happened in the last class, and then you start struggling with that, right? And it's a kind of a group learning. So it's not only about I'm teaching them, it's about they are also learning within the group, because they also get the chance to talk to a lot of other people, those who are already superior in their field, or those are already, or maybe they have just started on LinkedIn, or they started their career. So you get a lot of variety of audience there, and you have close community, so you can anytime reach out to them, you can anytime reach out to me. So that's why I love this format, because I'm accessible to everyone within the group, and even if you have any issue, any doubt or anything, they directly connect with them, or connect with me, or maybe connect with them, right? So that's why I started with this. And if I talk about how this is different, of course there are a lot of other courses out there, but I willingly give a lot of time, my own time, and spend a lot of time with my cohorts, the people who join this course, so they get access. And if you hear that most of the people talk about, the big people, they talk about accessibility, they create courses, but the price they put, maybe they put like $100 or $1,000 or $2,000. That price is basically 90% of price is basically getting access to that particular person, and then 10% is basically the content,
Content.
right? But in my case, I'm giving everything, my access plus content, everything, and with the minimal price. I don't charge like $1,000 or maybe $2,000. It's just like right now it is in this maybe like I'm still figuring out the price, but it is in discounted price, $149. That's it for the 2 week. And of course, that's not the 2 weeks, only 2 weeks. I teach or I support them throughout the month. It's not only about like 2 weeks.
Okay, where do you broadcast it live? Like which platform are you using? Is it through like a Udemy or other platforms, or how? I'm sorry, probably not live on Udemy, but educate me, man.
Yeah, so I use maven.com. It's a new platform,
I have
which
heard of it.
is founded by the co-founder.
Actually,
co-founder of
they
yeah,
emailed me, asked me. So
Udemy.
I have an old course on Udemy about cryptocurrency. So they asked me if I could put the content on their platform as well. So I haven't replied to them yet, but anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, because the person who co-founded this platform is also co-founded Udemy.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And the lady is called as her name is Veskow. She is also co-founded Alt MBA with
Uh-huh.
Seth Godin. So these are like very powerful people. They know this entire field since long time. So they are trying to build this entire platform. So yeah, and it's still under initial phase. So there are they make a lot of already a lot of features available on this platform. But when I joined, it was still initial phase. Right now they keep adding, and their goal is really great because they have think about this: when you are starting a course or studying any cohort courses or workshops, in the sense, you need a lot of other tech, right? So they just wanted to minimize, and that's why I choose Maven.
Okay. And how does data science fit in all of this? The social media effort and broadcasting?
Yeah, so with me, I work as a data analyst. So of course, I don't work data science as a data scientist or data analyst on social media data
Could you
or
please
any sort of data.
actually elaborate what data science actually means?
Yeah, so there's a misconception around data science world because everyone want to become a data scientist, right? But they don't know that what exactly inside it, right? If I don't call myself as a data scientist, because I call it as a data analyst, that's my designation. But I'm more like data software engineer, you can call it as a uh, every company gives a different name for this particular position, but what skills you have, that's the matter. And when you talk about data scientists, then of course there are a lot of things you should know. You should have a lot of skills like building, but the core difference between all these: data scientists, they build algorithm, they build models on top of on top of whatever data they have, right? And then they come up with the meaningful information. So that's their job. But to form the data, to clean the data, there are a lot of people, already people, those who work on those kind of data. And there's a misconception that these people also call them as a data scientist, but actually they are part of the whole cycle, but they aren't data scientist yet, because they haven't worked on, or they haven't started working on modeling or building algorithms or writing complex codes. Of course it's not that complex, because most of the people think about data scientist is a very complicated thing, but it's not. uh, there are two reasons for that. Maybe they are completely fresh to IT field, or maybe they are in the management area. Otherwise, if they know in general IT or programming, then they might be knowing that, okay, data scientist is fine, it's kind of another stream of working, or another department sort of thing. It's not like rocket science to work on, or to be a data scientist.
Okay. And how does data science come into social media, or is it like a separate field, or do you merge the two?
No, I don't work as a data
Because
analyst
I've
on my
seen
social media.
complex spreadsheets for SEO experts. So they have all of those data about keywords and stats. So I thought maybe you have it similarly for social media.
Yeah, most of the data analyst, I mean, of course, social media, these are the companies, they also have their own data analysts, own data scientists, right? They work on their data. So that's why they make a lot of fancy tools, or fancy spreadsheet where they can track everything, right? But me, I work completely on different. I work on enterprise, which is completely different from social media. But I know there are a lot of people working for, let's say, Facebook or Google or LinkedIn, Instagram. So what they do, they already have all the basic data, right, from the user. Whatever the single click you do, everything gets recorded, and then afterwards they create algorithms, or they create model in such a way that they get meaningful, or they fetch meaningful information about you or any social media user, right? So they build on top of that data, and they get the information, right? That information may not be limited only about your personal data. They're more like, of course they are everything, but they actually try to fetch you, how you think, right? And what is your behavior on social media, and on the basis of that they try to understand you, right? Like fetching your personal data, it's very old thing now. Of course we talk about there are a lot of people talk about personal data and GDPR and everything, but right now we are already crossed that limit, and people are already fetching data to analyze you, how you think, what you do, what is your regular routine, kind of things.
Okay, choose one. Good data or good model?
Of course, data.
Okay. Do you think data can be used to help in assisting people in their decision making?
Yes,
Like big
of
data
course.
algorithms.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, all the big organization, they take decisions on the basis of data. Initially, there were time where people take decisions on the behalf of their instinct, but they see that sometimes work, sometimes don't. So they need something to back up, and then they started figuring out the way, and that's why this all the data analytics and all the data scientists comes in picture. And nowadays every big enterprise or maybe small startups, they start with data, and they look at the data, analyze it, and then take decisions.
Okay. Have you read GDPR?
Entirely not, of course there's a
No.
lot of things in
Yeah.
GDPR. And
No, look, have you ever come across like a policy regarding data protection? You're like, no, that's not going to work, or this is absurd.
no, data GDPR is very simple. Like, of course, there are a lot of minor things here and there, but if I talk about GDPR, it means that you will not be able to share all the personal data which you have. It should be kept it in separate area where no one gonna have access to that particular area, even though within your organization. That's it. There's nothing extremely new or nothing something fancy, right? It's very simple. It's your data available on my platform, and it should be secure. I should not have access to that data, or I should not sell that data. Very simple. Of course there are a lot of other basic
But
technicalities
it's
here and
not
there.
practical, is it? I mean, you just mentioned we've already crossed that limit. So I don't really believe that, that limit or boundary actually exists. Like when I download an app on my phone and it gives allow permission to this and that, I'm like, okay, all right, take my life. So
Yeah, I mean, of course, if they want, they can misuse, but that's why we have regulations in place, right? And once they talk about, let's say the people, those who are using that service or that product, and if they start saying, okay, you are misusing the product, or you are misusing all the information, like what is happening with Facebook now. That's why this meta things comes. So let's say XYZ platform, and they are misusing, and a lot of news coming stating that, okay, this particular XYZ company is selling data or got this kind of thing, corruption and everything, right? So once you lose the trust of your user, then that platform don't work at all. At certain at certain period it might work because of the number of users, but slowly they see the declining. And once they lose their confidence, once they lose their trust, then there is no point, right? People don't use it afterwards. So of course it's not only about following regulations, but it's also about making your users feel trust, and they must feel this particular platform is trustable, so I can sign up on, or I can sign up for that particular product or services, and I can choose that product confidently.
okay, tell me about your future plans.
Okay, so I haven't figured it out yet, as like
Look, I know
so many other people.
okay, you sell courses. I know that much. What else do you do? And for how long do you want to, or do you see yourself continue producing these courses or selling courses?
Yeah. So let's talk about courses. Whatever I do, I mean, selling courses. It's like if you hear if you hear the price, it's like only 149. It's nothing, right? Even though if I have a huge team working from India, and 50% goes to them, and 50% are like operational thing. So nothing left with me, and that's fine because I'm not doing this for money, because this is not my primary source of income. I'm getting good salary through my job, so I'm not worried about it. I'm not focusing about monetizing or anything something. I just wanted to help people and want to create good learning experience. That's why this $149 in place to accommodate all the operational cost, right? And of course, if I talk about future plans, then same as many other people, I haven't figured it out, of course. And you don't have to be figured it out at all at certain period, because of course, if you feel now, I started with LinkedIn, right? Tomorrow if I feel maybe I should switch, or maybe I stop using, or if I don't enjoy LinkedIn, then I will not use LinkedIn. I'll go somewhere else, right? It's all about your priority. It's all about where you enjoy the most. And right now I enjoy the most creating content. That's why, and I choose LinkedIn. Tomorrow if I stop enjoying, or if I don't enjoy LinkedIn, then I must start either Twitter or more, or maybe some other social media platform. But I feel content creation will be definitely there, so definitely I'll do something around content creation.
What are you reading these days?
I don't read much, definitely, and I haven't started it, but I have already. Uh, I, I was trying to get the Ankur Wariko's book, so but I haven't got that. So
Which book?
if you hear
Sorry.
the Ankur Wariko's
Okay.
Do Epic Shit,
Okay.
so he's really good at explaining things and talking about personal finance,
Okay.
entrepreneurship. So yeah, I just wanted to read that book. That book name is Do Epic Shit.
So
So
you're
yeah.
with into like self-help and how to material.
No, it's of course that book is about entrepreneurship, personal development, and it's a combination of everything. That's the review I got, of course. But I know the Ankur Wariko, how because he also create videos and he also write content. So I just want to get that. But when it comes to reading, I prefer, of course, uh, the psychology of money, or maybe personal development, entrepreneurship, startups, of course. But I don't read much. That's the one thing. So if I read one book, and then I say, okay, I read about personal development. If I read one startup book, then I might say, okay, I read about startup. But that's not the thing, right? A lot of
Oh,
people,
okay.
they read like a 10 different books on personal development, 10 or 20 different books on startups. So yeah, that's not the case with me.
By the way, that's okay. I mean, it's like not about consuming so much content in form of books. If you get value out of one book or one article, I think it's just what you do with the knowledge. It's not about consumption, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I recently I read somewhere that uh, the people, those who read or aim for like reading 100 books a year, that should not be the goal. Your goal should be like reading at least maybe 10 or 20 books. And when you read, you understand properly and you execute, and then you start reading the next book.
Agreed. You mentioned you have a team in India. So where are you located right now, you yourself?
Right now, I'm in Oslo, Norway.
Oh, okay. How's the weather there? How are things?
Okay, it's right now it's a sunny day today, but it's snowing outside. So, and temperature is mostly negative or sometimes positive, but with one +1 or +2 degree.
Cool. All right, Mayur, we've come to the end of the podcast. It was a pleasure talking to you, and we'd love to have you on some other episode again.
Definitely, I would love to do that, and it's a pleasure having me here.
All right, buddy. Take care.
Thank you. See you soon.
All right. Bye.